Hello there. Oh, I wasn't quite ready for this, but that's perfect. An excuse to pour a drink. I was looking for one. Bourbon's really my flavor. What do you like? Oh, enough's enough. We're here to learn about the adventures of Shoreshak and the heroes of Ironton. Exactly where did we leave off?
Last time on Shore Shack Adventures, the party managed to escape from the town of Alabast and seemed to have no pursuers. They were able to camp along the beach, covered themselves in their magical bubble, and got fully rested. Traveling on down the beach, they came across a strange girl, and following her to a lair, it appears that she may just not be a girl, but may be Julian's other daughter. One that hates her sister with a passion and blames her for her mother's death. Trying to reason with her so that we could use her to help heal the deceased Namina, it appeared that she was going to have nothing to do with it unless we could promise her bringing her sister to her for what I can only gather as nefarious means. And I feel that the party is about ready to throw this cat away and just get a new one. I mean, really, cats are free everywhere. Just find another one. So after dealing with her for a while, the party has decided to take a break and confer among themselves to see if this is a route they really want to go down. We'll find out what they decide today on today's Adventures in Shore Shack.
Oh man, I don't watch these recasts before they're done, but bravo, as we are carrying along Namina's dead body. I mean, the party of adventurers, been carrying around the dead cat for what seems like ages. In reality, has only been a few days. Doesn't seem to be rotting as much as it normally would.
Or should.
But who really knows? We may find out today in our episode of Shore Shack Adventure.
On my enemy's face.
Hello, Sonia, my love.
Hey, where's that gold at?
What are we doing here, man?
Jesus, Jehoshaphat! Where did this fucking hat come from?
Come on, Conan. Let's go.
It feels good to be back.
Oh, that'd be so cool. Make surfboards with my bunyip.
Shall I play you a tune?
I don't even care about the gold anymore.
Your entire party walks down the stairs of Raquiella's cave hovel, if you will, walking down the tattered and barnacled staircase into the sand in front, reminiscing on the offer that she gave you. She acknowledged that there were a number of ways to potentially raise the dead, acknowledging that there is an artifact up in the swamp, in the bog up north, but you probably didn't have the time to come. She said she knew a way. He presented an artifact of sorts, a living seed of power, mentioning that this might be what it would take to raise somebody from the dead. Well, Soomper, no doubt, has some internal struggle with that, as he's been questing for a similar seed for quite some time. The details of all of that might not be known by the rest of the party. The other thing that she wanted as part of the deal was that Gabriella got delivered to her for a long-awaited family reunion. You pieced together this is the daughter of Julian, the one who politically is running Alabasta, just a few hours north of where you are right now. She had a long discussion, or at least an isolated discussion, with your new comrade, who you know takes bear form. This could bring back your beloved friend. But at the end of last episode, it didn't seem like you were going to go down that path. As you walk down the staircase and sit outside, she does not follow. You seem to be alone with your party. This deserves a well-deserved conversation amongst priorities, direction, and the dead cat you're all carrying around. Now, you all know there is a bonus item that might be given out to somebody who does the best accent. In character, of course, whatever that might be. Some of you might not have character accents yet, but damn it, after the next 15 minutes, let's make one that sticks.
Well, you know, this bitch, she's about the same as her sister, and I'm about fed up with her already. So, let's make a decision. Do we take what we want from her? Or do we just dump the cat in the ocean and move on our way? A burial at sea, fit for a cat.
I have strong reservations of dealing with this woman. I sense she is extremely evil.
I also have reservations about burying Namina in the ocean. I feel like a cat wouldn't want to be buried in water.
You're not wrong about that. Cats don't like water.
I concur with Super.
I mean, unless you were speaking in metaphors, in which case I do not understand metaphors very well.
Well, you know, I'm just looking at giving back, you know. Cats eat fish. Fish can eat cat.
This is a good point, actually. I didn't really consider
It's the
that.
circle of life.
That's right. Interesting. So, if I were to get this seed from the hag,
And what's the big deal about this seed?
oh my god, brings me back. So, when I was a young Soompi, I, as you may not know, am actually a forest gnome from a land not from Shawshank. And my people for many generations have lived in this enormous tree that has only grown from a special, specific seed, where our entire, not just my family, but families of tree gnomes used to live in, a whole society. And over time, these woods have gotten taken and eaten away from, you know, different entrepreneurs, logsmen, what name you, taking down the whole forest. And basically, my family has nowhere to live anymore. And I was actually the last druid of my group to be sent out on a mission to retrieve one of these seeds to grow back a new home for not just my family, but my entire community and my entire people. Otherwise, we're going to be wiped out. And the only known location is here on Shawshank, which is why I'm here. And apparently this hag has it. I understand it has the ability to bring the Mina back, but I mean, it's like, I kind of need it for my people.
Well,
Super. How confident are we that she indeed has this item and is not a trick? I sense strong capability of deception from this woman.
And see, this is where my mind is befuddled. Do I trust this creature on the chance that this is indeed the seed that I am looking for? But, I mean, I don't think this lady can be trusted by any means. Even if I were to obtain ownership of the seed and it is actually that seed, it's not going to end well. There's going to be something that she's gonna pull. I just know it. It's a lose-lose situation, really.
So how long have you been looking for this seed? When were you sent out?
Oh, since I've been here, it's been a while. It's been a while.
So your people could already be dead.
I mean, it hasn't been that long. I would hope not. Simple like, holy shit! Like, I don't think so.
I mean, if you were the last to be sent out, you haven't seen any others here. Were there others sent here before you?
Well, other druids have been sent out on missions. I mean, I wasn't
here?
Not here necessarily. It's just, let's just say I wasn't the first choice.
That I can believe.
What if we subdued her and took the seed?
I mean, like, get her and just attack her?
Yeah. She's clearly evil. If that's the real seed, and it can save Super's people, what right does she have to it?
Something for Namina.
Well, the seed actually, we could use that seed to, at least according to the hag, to attempt to resurrect Namina. Which honestly, I don't think I'm prepared to do that. Like, I like.
Where would we insert this seed in Namina to resurrect him?
I can't. I don't know.
Well, wasn't there a chance?
Xander, there's a couple options.
No, wasn't there a chance to where the seed wouldn't be used?
Yeah, 50-50 chance, but I mean,
That's pretty big.
it's pretty. Yeah, like I don't know, man.
Tossing a coin under family is very hard. I would assume.
Exactly, and not even just my family, but my whole people. You know.
All right, so what's our options? What's the play? We attack the hag and try to take what we want by force. Probably not going to work out well for any of us.
So, yeah, there's going to be more than one body that we're dragging out of here. Then
We could. We've already tried to negotiate with her. That doesn't seem to work.
we could do what she asks.
But if we do what she asks, that takes time away, and he dies anyway. So then are we just doing what she asked so that you can get a seed?
I mean, it's a big deal, the seed is, but I hear what you're saying.
So do we sacrifice one life for another? Is that okay with Super?
Well, I mean, when you put it that way, that's not exactly what is going on through my mind. It's not like it's like one life versus a whole culture of people, if you would.
One innocent life versus another innocent life.
Lives.
You guys are gnomes. You're half-lives.
That's not cool, man. That's not cool.
Ice knife?
I blast him with the one.
All right, roll a d100.
No, I don't blast him, but I do. I'm like, that's not cool, and I will blast it into the distance. And
All right, roll a d100.
All right. Kasumpi's getting really like flustered and stuff right now. 28.
28.
You are so good at that. As you cast it over, a large cloud begins to billow. right next to a cloud that seems to be dissipating up above. As it slowly sinks down, you all start to smell the slight pungent sting of shit.
This smells like shit.
Could you warn us next time you're doing that?
I'm like, I will never warn you, and then I'll blast it again.
Roll a d100.
Smells like bear shit.
Where are you casting it though?
Like I cast it like into the distance. Like I don't want to
Up,
cast
left, right, into the
like
sea.
at an angle, like at a 45-degree angle. Like,
Okay, toward the sea or toward the land?
towards the sea.
Okay.
And
Over their heads or away from them?
away from us. Like I'm
Okay.
like casting it in the area, like
How
a
far?
tantrum.
How
a
far?
tantrum's casting.
All right, roll me also a
90
D100
feet.
to see how far. And let's
All
say
right,
it'll be over 30 feet.
Okay, 67 was my first roll. Whether
Okay.
that applies to the distance or not, I don't know. It was the first one, and then 63 is the second roll.
Okay. And you go to cast and you go, and just as you do, everything around you begins to grow and shake. You look up to where you cast, and you don't see anything going on over there as you begin to shrink. You're now, I believe, a tenth of your size.
Okay, I am okay.
And Xander will bend down and say, "See, if you guys were all this size, a regular tree would take care of your entire family."
That's besides the point, Xander. You know it.
I think you've just solved your problem without the seed.
And I'm like,
Then you still have the wand.
I kneel down and I offer my hand to see if he wants to get on my hand.
I'm like, you all right? You all right, Braggle? We'll get on Braggle's paw.
And I slowly bring him back up and I put him on my shoulder.
Now, Joe Tatu, in all of this, you've been rather silent. Is there anything that you would like to be doing while all of this conversation is going on?
Cleaning the beds of his nails.
Okay.
You pay attention to me, show. Super is having a big temper tantrum right now.
That's okay, Super. This is all right. As long as you're not after our gold. Listen, I think we got to get back to Ironton already. We're the heroes of Ironton. We're far from Ironton. Do you have a tree planted somewhere where we could get back there quickly? We wouldn't have to go get lost in the swamps again.
I guess I could plant another tree down here, but I don't know if I want to plant the tree close where this crazy lady lives.
That's fine. I understand that. I just think we should probably get back. The king might be wondering what's going on, and I think that's sort of where our main responsibilities lie. But if you guys want to deal with this, if you want to get the seed from this lady, I don't want to help her out. I don't like her. I don't like what she's got going on. If I were to pick between her and Gabriella, I would pick Gabriella. And but if you want to get the seed, I'm willing to try and fight for it.
I agree with Sho. We should not deal with her. Simper, when was the last time we used the tree?
It was like a while, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, like it's a home, like so. I guess I grew up in this tree, but the last time I used it, I mean, it's been a while because it was taken down.
Sorry, gentlemen, his brain shrunk when he did. When's the last time we used the tree of teleportation?
Yes, the teleportation
2
tree.
days ago.
Oh, the
So
teleportation.
We have 5 more days to kill before we can get back to Ironton on the tree.
3.
You
I think we
guys
can
have
use every
teleporting
5. I
trees?
believe. Every
Yeah, we
5,
got teleport
wasn't that
trees,
correct?
No big deal. No big deal.
That's really cool.
The last place I put one was up where we actually met Xander, but that's up north, past Andy and Greta's.
No show. No Simper. Remember, on the hillside, when you first received the seeds, or when they came to see you,
It was whatever. I don't know this. Never mind.
on the hillside, when they taught you to spell, you had to plant a seed. That's about a day's travel south of Ironton.
Well, no, I planted one in Alabasta too, though, in Asta's backyard.
Right. That's the one that we traveled into.
Yeah, oh, you're asking like how long it's been? It's been like 2 days.
It's been like 2 days, right?
Yeah.
Then you're asking where you have planted these trees, and I'm glad I've kept a map of where I know you planted them. Yeah, I didn't realize it was important at the time, but I have kept track of where you've planted these seeds.
I kept track of it too, but I guess not.
And if you look on our map and you go south of Ironton, by about a day's travel, you see where I made a little purple mark.
Oh, I see what you say. I thought you meant close to where we're at right now. Maybe my brain did shrink. I don't know. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, right. It's like about a day and a half travel south of Ironton. So, yeah, I mean, I could plant another one around here and we could use it then, but am I still miniature?
You are.
Like, I'm still miniature. Okay, I'm still miniature. Right. So, I mean, but we could travel north we could try to sneak back to Asta's place and use that tree, but I think we still have another 5 days until we're able to travel.
How many seeds do you have left?
I think I have 2.
You've got 2 left.
Yeah.
Then we have.
Honestly, this wouldn't be the worst place because we're like outside of Shore Shack.
Now, why don't we go to Shore Shack?
Yeah, maybe we should do it outside of Shore Shack. Let's get away from this crazy lady. I don't want to deal with her. I don't think we should fight her yet, but maybe when we're more powerful, we could fight it.
So you know she has a seed, or at least she says she has a seed.
And she showed me what looks exactly like the seed.
Most interestingly, she knew you were looking for the seed.
See, that's what it's, dude. It's hag shit, man. You can't get involved with that. I'm telling you.
The next thing you say, you can change your voice as you start to grow in the middle of your conversation.
All right. Thank you.
Now, Super, I gather this seed is extremely important for you and your people. Are there multiple seeds around, or is this seed the only one you will be able to get your hands on? This is a one-of-a-kind thing.
Well, see, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. I pushed him off my shoulder.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm still tiny compared to you, man. Relax.
My whole shoulder kind of hurts.
But, I mean, that's the thing is I feel like there's only one seed. But there might be multiple. I don't know. I mean, that's something that's why I'm not like immediately jumping on this. We know where she is. I feel that we can save this for later, to be honest.
Super, you would know that this was the last seed known to exist. So that was, we talked through this at the beginning of you coming here, and there are a few other details that maybe you don't want to share, so I'll include it in a message or something. But this is most likely the last seed, at least that you know exists. If there are other seeds, then your colony does not know about them.
Right.
No.
So yeah, this is the last seed. If that indeed is what she has shown me,
Are you
which we don't know for sure.
Are you going to be sure that she will keep this seed for you? She knows you want it.
I mean, if it's a hag, then hell yeah, she's going to keep that fucking seed as leverage.
I don't know the behavioral tendencies of a hag.
Oh, I have an impression. I've had plenty of exes just like that. I can tell you that right now.
So our options is we're going to leave, right?
And just then, behind Super, you see come out of the staircase.
Oh, what was the voice that I heard?
And I'm like, holy moly! And then I like blast off the wand into the out of nervous reflex, not at her, but like just kind of like.
Okay, roll a D100.
I hope you're not hitting me because I feel like you're right next to me.
This is my 4th one, by the way. 86.
All right. Up into the sky, you look, and just a solid item of some sort begins to swirl and grow, and then vines begin to shoot off into space as they fall into the sea. And then ginormous leaves begin to start growing on this floating floating island, if you will.
Oh, how interesting indeed. You startled me, little one. Who was the squeaky voice that I heard down here?
He was just getting a bit excited. Well, Raquiela, we do appreciate the offers that you've made to us. However, I believe we're going to give a hard pass and move on our way.
With her hair kind of wet, even though she didn't just come out of the water by any means, and with seaweed kind of strewn across it in front of her head, she goes,
I think we got off on the wrong start. But first, I really do like squeaky voices.
That's weird.
Super.
and
We're off to the wrong start again, Raquela.
It's not a way you open up a
She
conversation.
starts to approach and starts going towards you, Super.
Super is kind of like, then backs up, kind of slowly, like at pace with her, if
Yeah.
you would. You know, yeah.
No, don't run.
I'm not running.
I just think that I went a bit far. I used to be good at negotiations, but I seem to have failed. I like your squeaky voice so much. It reminds me of being a child. Take this in appreciation.
And a hand kind of out from under her hair just goes straight up at you. And she's dangling a big red vial.
You're adventurers, are you not? Except
At what cost? What is this?
I just feel bad.
Can you just like set it down on the ground and then I'll pick it up?
sure.
And then she remains like this. Her hair remains exactly the way, but then her leg, like her back doesn't bow at all. Her legs just seem to disappear from under her, and her arm kind of stands there underneath her hair as she stands back up, looking at you all.
That was creepy.
So what do I do with this vial? What are you suggesting here?
Well, you have lost a fellow adventurer already, and I can sense that you loved him dearly.
Yeah.
I know Xander, and her head just tilts over kind of towards you.
Still no eyeballs, so I don't know why she's looking at you, Xander. But she looks over and says,
Xander does feel love, and quite a bit of it. I long for love. But I fear I might be incapable of such a thing. It is nice to witness, though. I would hate for you to lose another. When hurt, this will stop them from dying. Take it or leave it. It is just an offering.
she scoots back.
Super.
How do we know we can trust you,
Tentatively.
Raquiela?
Well, I shouldn't. But I can cut you one more deal. I wish so long to meet with Gabriella. It's been since we've been kids. Long before I ran away.
To what end?
To what beginning, Xander?
To what end? Her end? Or merely to reconcile with your sister?
We all have ends. But I won't choose when they come about.
You seemed really serious about her in a creepy, angry way.
I think I'm just creepy, Braggle. It's not in a way toward her, it's just how I am. But I would like to be more beautiful. I comb my hair, but every 5 weeks. It just doesn't seem to get out any of the tangles.
Do you blame your sister for your mother's death?
She takes a big, long sigh. Xander, you are a man who has loved.
But death comes to us all. We don't decide the time. And if you wanted to lay blame, couldn't you at the same time blame your father for getting your mother pregnant with the child that killed her?
I don't like him either. But it is not quite as simple as that, Xander. Obviously, I harbor some resentment, but over time, I have healed most of those wounds. That is obviously something that itches at the back of my skull, but is not something that is motivating the request. I'm sure you all, and she begins to look at you all, and then water just pours out of one of her ears as she turns it over and just starts just dumping onto the ground. You've all had somebody wrong you and have learned that forgiveness is necessary.
The last one that wronged us, I killed him.
Oh, is that the recommendation, Xander?
I recommend to kill the man that sent the man.
Uh-huh.
That's next level right there.
Big brain.
Big
I'll
brain.
take anything that you say and solid recommendation. You are all have a certain beauty that I...
If I brought you, Gabriella, to meet with you, could you, in turn, kill the man that sent the man that tried to kill us?
The man that sent the man that tried to kill you. Who is the man that tried to kill you?
We can all hide things.
That's right.
It's our offer. If we bring you Gabriella, would you then agree to kill the man that sent the man who attempted to kill us?
I do not like to kill, but...
How about just bring the man here and keep him with you? He could be your toy.
How about this, Xander?
Or your friend.
I give me the promise that you will deliver me Gabriella in short time. Also, I might have a gift that I'd like you to deliver to my father. And in return, you have the choice. I can either lay waste to the man who sent the man, whoever this man may be, or I will give you a boon to make that job much easier, and then show you how to revive your kitty cat.
Oh, you will show us how to?
Well, the playing fields are tilted because you're requesting two things.
So are
And in
you.
return, we gain 1.
Do you not know how to count, you dimwit?
You wanted us to bring 2 things to you. Wanted us to bring Gabriella
Super.
to
You
you.
are the smart one here. Tell your big friend that he does not know how to count. A boon to kill a man, as well as revival of a dead creature.
You
Which is
said
not
either.
a small ask by any means, and requires ancient magic, especially in this sense.
Ancient magic. How old are you?
Shh.
Ancient?
Do you want the deal or no? She begins to back up toward her staircase and goes up backwards.
How long is short time?
Oh, I thought you wouldn't ask.
Where is
4 moons. 4. The number 4 really.
When you say 4 moons, you mean like 4 full moons? Like how they used to tell time, like back in the day? Every month has 1 full moon, so like 4 months, or like 4 moons, like 4 days.
That is quite interesting. Have you taken my potion yet?
I picked it up. I did. When they were-
Oh,
I committed to it. Like yeah. I did.
moons. Yes. Let's do 2 full moon cycles.
Okay, yeah. 2 months. 2 months. That's 60 days, boys. Like super says.
Is that how math works?
I turned to Xander and all the rest of the group. And I'm like,
where's this Gabriella? Who is she? And what are we gonna do with that?
Last I knew, she was in. We'll talk about this later.
Where?
You hear her
But-
chuckle to herself.
I know where she's at. And our conversations ended on a high note last time.
Whoa. Nice.
Mainly her screaming at me.
That's nice.
One more. You mentioned distrust. I don't want my appearance to lead you the wrong way. It's really a problem that I have. And she starts just fisting her skull, just over and over again. She's like, I don't know what it is. I just can't learn not to give off whatever this is. But I can, if you promise me, Gabriella, you don't have to do any deliveries for me at all until the kitty cat friend has risen from the dead. When that has happened, come back and I will give you the package.
I think that yeah, and I'll be like, I think we need to like introduce her to Gabriella. I feel like this is gonna somehow get us more information on what the fuck is going on with Julian and shit. If you ask me.
I'm okay with. I agree with that. It seems like she's definitely changed her tone a little bit. Seems less murderous now.
Seems a little less murderous. I agree with that.
Maybe she had a change of heart.
All right. So we bring your sister to you. We don't leave her with you. We stay with her. And we remove her when she's done.
Bring her here and your end of the bargain is complete.
And if she wishes to leave, we may take her with us.
Yeah, we're contributing more time to the bargain. It's a good deal for you.
We'll escort her home.
Xander, I thought you did not like Gabriella, nor her father.
Yeah. I don't seem to have much for either of his sisters or his daughters.
What do you have against me?
Riddles. Riddles bother me. I prefer straight talkers.
I like that. Oh, that's good. That's good. Like, yeah, that's good, Xander. That's good.
Xander, something rubs me in a way that tells me that you like riddles half as much as I do.
I love some Greta laughter.
All right. As you get here, let me know and I will direct you exactly to where you can revive your friend. But consider the deal accepted. You can come, you can ask for her. I would like to talk to her privately. This is about family affairs. We might even talk for quite a while, and if you want to just sit around as her personal guard, go right ahead. Xander, I believe the thing you're feeling is more lust than love, though. I like the Xander who talked about something he loved. I missed that one.
When I spoke of something I loved, it was not your sister.
Apparently not.
I kind of look over to Xander, and I'm like, I'm not the smartest, but if we...
You can stop that statement there.
Okay, well, fuck you. But I'm pretty sure that this body will start to decay within 60 days. How are we to stop that?
Well, therein lies the riddle. She wants us to do something for her, and yet is unable to advance anything in the meantime. So, it appears that she will have to get her sister on her own.
I have advanced you.
What have you done for us?
I said no deal is on until your friend has been revived.
Our friend will not make it the amount of time that you require.
Are you saying that you're going to revive?
Not know what an advance is.
I think that I'm a little bit smarter than you right now, Xander, but she's saying that she's going to revive Namina in the beginning, and then he will be alive to accompany us to get Gabriella.
A feline's touch might be in need.
Cat, right. I can...
What's been in the water these days?
Well, if that's what she meant, then I obviously couldn't see past her fair beauty enough to discern that.
You look over and you see her hair part as she kind of looks back over at you, but it looks like all of her hair has turned 180 degrees over her shoulder. Her hair parts as you see just a tongue come up and just wrap around and start picking at her ears.
Creepy. Still.
A few ales in, and
At least.
you revive him, we bring Gabriella here. Within 2 moons.
Well, is this with using super seed or not?
This is not. Instead.
Hey, where's my seed at, huh?
So super seed is still intact in this deal.
The seed I showed you has nothing to do. any of our arrangements.
Well, how do I get the seed then?
We
Quick
make the
thing.
delivery to Julian for her, and she'll give you the seed.
Oh, what's the delivery?
That's correct.
Do you have a spokesperson? Because my deals keep getting messed up and mangled, and
seems
I'm
like it.
really growing frustrated. I just, and then she just starts banging her head in, and you just see water start shooting out of her ears. Me doing this.
I'm the spokesperson. No, I'm just kidding. It's Xander. It's Xander. It's Xander. Or Show. It goes between Xander and Show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it was more rhetorical, your question, but just to answer it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with the deal at a time. We will bring you Gabriella.
But I feel like, what's the note? What's the note? I feel like we could do kind of 2 in 1, because if we get Gabriella, we're going to be in close proximity with Julian. We might need to do both at once.
What's a package? She wants us to deliver a package.
Oh yes, 1 second, I'll be back.
What's the
And you
package?
see her just start prancing up the stairs, almost like a little kid. You know, which is a nice thing to see. If she
so
didn't have
cute.
like, if she didn't have like seaweed in her hair and look like she was going to eat your soul. It was a nice nice repose from the threatening nature of this creature in front of you. She comes back down dancing, and you see a doll, tattered and missing a leg, with 2 X where the eyes are, sewn in. You can tell that buttons were there, but they've been ripped off over time.
This was the last gift my father gave me while I was in prison, and it kept me warm for so long when I left. He's asked for a return in correspondence, and I have not given it. I'm not much about writing, really, but you will know this came from me.
I can deliver this. If anything, it seems like it's going to fuck with Julian, and I'm okay with that. Like, I will deliver this package.
And she goes away and goes, so am I.
That's disconcerting, but
If this gets him away from my forest, I'll be happy.
I'll take the package for you.
Thank you, Super. I think you should be the leader of this group.
Maybe at this moment it seems that way. Maybe, but that's true. I don't need to deliver it to him, like hand deliver it, right? I could like leave it ominously on his bed or something like that, right?
His bed would be perfect.
That's also a disconcerting detail, but all right. I will, yeah, I get the idea.
Do you think a good idea would be to soak it in seawater for a little bit so it has that seawater smell?
Already dead.
Okay.
Oh, it is. That's a good idea. It's a good idea. It's just been done. All right.
Great minds think alike, Braggle.
Yes. I like her. She's
We
cool.
made a deal. And she winks at you.
I sense some tension, Braggle.
I like her. I think she's cool.
All right, so this is. Do we have a deal? I need an unanimous yes.
Yes,
Super.
we'll deliver your doll, and yes, we will. For the group, are we going to deliver the doll?
I will deliver the doll.
Is this a yes consensus? We're going to deliver the doll for Raquiella.
Okay.
I will deliver the doll. Nobody else takes any responsibility for that action.
Well, it may be easier if someone else delivers the doll.
Well, sure. I just don't want anybody to feel like they're obligated when I make this commitment.
I stand with Simper. We'll deliver the doll.
We'll deliver the doll.
All right. I will let you know exactly where to go for you all to revive your
pretty little kitty friend. And she begins to explain it all to you. And there's a lot of detail in it. So we're just going to assume you absorb it. And as we move forward, you will know certain things. And Soomper will deliver the dog. Thank you, Soomper.
You're welcome.
The pact has been made.
Dark black energy starts swarming around the room, and a chain and lock.
Go on. And then she dances up her staircase, and then as she's sitting there, you're all standing there below, looking at each other like, "Okay, what the fuck just happened?" And her arm is just sitting there out to the side, just farewell.
I lay back.
All right. Well, the good thing is there was no time frame on doll delivery, so we can go. We bid you adieu.
Just see the look on Mike's face. He's like, "What?"
Shit.
It's like, I knew he liked riddles.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Because I don't want to talk in her voice too much because it's fucking annoying. Though I seem to be really good at creepy girl voices. She explained to you that there was an ancient relic very close by. And if you go just south on your way to Shore Shack and you take a right following her direction, you'll go over the dunes until you encounter red sand. And if you trudge through 1 mile of red sand, there is
There's lots of iron in this sand, Soomper says.
there is an outcropping of forest that you can see on the horizon. She said, grab some of the coastal coral sand and bring it with you, for that will be the key of entry. She says, the only way this will work is with love. And that is something that she doesn't have. And that's why she cannot do it. All that she can do is tell you how to.
Is there like... Oh, go ahead.
Because when you go there, there's a large and abandoned old remnants of a hall in which ancient mages, they used to frequent this island as a safe store for ancient magic. It is within that you will find it. If you follow the instructions, that love will bring your friend back.
Interesting. Did she say how much coral would be needed, or is it just?
I thought you were going to say how much love.
I thought you were going to say
lots of love. Lots and lots.
Yeah, no, the material part.
Yeah. She didn't mention it.
Okay. Interesting. I have an idea. On how we could get some, but I'm guessing it. Would I know how far the coral would start to appear offshore?
No, it's all the coral sand that is the beach.
Oh, the sand. Oh, okay. I thought you meant like actual coral. That would be.
No, and there are coral that exist on a lot of these outcroppings that are in like the low tide, kind of makes them very visible to you. But you don't need that. You just need the sand that's not red.
Okay.
And let's say a pouch of it. Let's say one of you had remembered because he seemed to be really pushy on this hag, and he probably would have asked.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's gather what we need and start the trek. This cat's getting heavy.
From all the maggots that are starting to crawl on it.
Yeah, you do pick a few maggots off, and you realize so you see maggots kind of cropping out from the vest that he was wearing. And Soomper, you know a lot about nature and decomposition from at least that area of expertise. And so you pull off his vest, and there is a hole that apparently flies had infected a wound and it started to lay eggs, and you can see them just munching on the dead flesh around. And you start patting away at that, and then out of his left pocket, a note falls to the ground.
Oh, shit. Okay, I pick up the note. I'm like, hey, guys, this just fell out of his pocket. I announce it before I even open it, and then I open it and I read it.
Okay, and as you pick it up, it seems to be some sort of
living will.
It's not a language you understand. It's more symbols.
Okay, so I can't. Can I do I'm not sure what it would be. Would it be history check to see if I can identify what kind of language it is?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a history check.
4.
Anybody can roll an intelligence check as well.
There have been times before ours, is what I could tell with my history check of 4.
That's a negative on me.
It does almost look alien.
It's a nat 1.
14 intelligence.
Yeah, it looks alien in a way that you can't entirely tell. I am just going to show you what you see on our Facebook group here, then post it in Roll20 later.
I'm sorry, could you say that again, Mike?
It's in the Facebook
Messenger.
Oh, sorry. I will read it aloud.
Anybody who wants to attempt to go right ahead.
Sex for the lawful.
It says, Swedish Chef. Like I said, man, I'm a huge Muppet fan. I already know that impression.
And then
says, I, Namina, relinquish all my earthly belongings to Soomper, who is the coolest of guys that I've ever met. And not only that, but also the most daring and eloquent and super tall person that I've ever met. That's what it says.
And then as you dig through his pockets for coin, you do find all of his coins, and Jared, if you want to tell him how many coins you have,
I mean,
you can take it there, Super. Roll a deception check.
Let me double check because I know that he had like.
Ooh, not bad.
Let me see. Where's my money? Okay, he found 15 gold and then a lot of diamonds.
Oh, okay. Like, and I show the group because I'm no longer under the spell of my ring. Like, hey, I had 15 gold and like a bunch of diamonds. Like, I don't know what these diamonds are about. I got no answer for that. But yeah, interesting.
You also find another crumpled up piece of paper.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, is there anything else actually that we? Never
Yeah, you have another crumpled up piece of paper that I also showed.
Oh, I see. Okay, on the group message.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. He doesn't really know how to play tic-tac-toe, it seems. Interesting.
I love that. Bragg was looking at it like, I don't understand this.
MLR.
And then
How much I can make from this?
But would it be
So how
middle,
far? How
middle
far do you
left,
guys
right?
Yeah.
go before? Do you guys want to do this outside of Requiella's establishment, or move
No,
your
just
way
as we keep going on.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. Yeah.
I feel like I kind of look towards the paper, and I'm like, it looks like it's ripped.
It looks like what?
It looks like it's ripped, like it's ripped from something.
Yeah, that's what the impression I got here too.
Is there more?
Can we keep looking, Mike?
Yeah, if you want to.
Braggle and I keep on searching Namina because we're kind of, and then my 9 for perception on that roll. I just did.
With a 9, you don't. A 9 what? Investigation.
Perception, or maybe investigate. Well,
Investigation. What are you looking for?
investigation's worse. It'd be 6. To see if there's any other like bits of notes or anything of that nature.
Yeah, you're looking for things, and the only thing you come across is a small vial of a black substance, a black tar-like substance.
This fucking Namina guy had secrets that we did not know about, I gotta say. What is this black vial? Can anybody identify it? Can I roll an Arcana?
Yeah, roll an Arcana if you want. Actually, Arcana won't give you shit.
Well, I rolled a 12 Arcana.
It didn't give you shit.
They didn't give me shit. Okay. Fair enough. I'm like, I don't think it's magical. I don't think, but I suspect it would be. Yeah, that's the best I got.
Let me have a look, and I grab the vial, and I'll roll a medicine check.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll that.
And I got a 16.
How do you want to medicine check it? Like what physically are you doing?
I'll smell it. Examine it very closely and smell it.
You smell it, and it has a very pungent aroma that you know is of fauna is animals. What are plants? What's that called? What's that word?
Flora.
Flora. You know, it's the flora of a neighboring continent of where you are now, Aussie. But it's pungent and wrapped in a lot of other things. You know, it's an extract, a boiled down tar or hash of sorts.
It clearly has some purpose, and it did not come from here. Whether those purposes are benevolent or
Couldn't you say
not.
that for like anything that's bottled?
True. True, Simper, true.
With just a smell, that's all you can really pull.
I wonder if it's an antidote for that drug Namina had expressed such a strong hatred for.
Probably. That's a good, It definitely doesn't look like it was to help whoever consumed it.
All right.
Braggle, would you happen to know what this is about, Braggle?
I can't talk and type at the same time. I'm sorry.
All right. So you all, in your walking, make your way over an especially dry piece of dunes.
Can I roll?
While we're walking, I'm going to work on. I'm going to work on.
Stay would be really hard to do while walking.
Stay
would be very difficult to do while walking, so you could try to do that at disadvantage. Obviously, stay and then walking don't coincide.
All right, stay, walk away. All right, come here.
Oh, okay. You could. Okay, fair enough. That makes sense. DM's fault.
And I'll use speak with animals to tell him what we're doing.
Oh, go ahead and mark that off. Super, you have 4 on your wand, and then you had 1 the previous. So you have 5 total on your wand. I think you have 7 total you need. Go ahead and roll, Xander. Let me know what you get. But you can go ahead and put that in the chat if you want.
Well, it's on D&D Beyond, and it is a 18.
Ooh, what a success! He stays, and he stays so well that he doesn't really come after a while. Like he's nailed this training session, but now you have to realize come might be a different.
All right. So that is stay is 3 successes. So that is trained, right?
Correct.
Congratulations.
Xander, as you guys look at Xander, he looks exceptionally happy, walking with a step and a gusto. Xander, you have officially just earned your next level. Is there any cinematography that you would like to describe as you grow in this wonderful game we have?
Well, when he realizes that he has mastered stay, he bends down, he starts scratching him behind his ears, and he's like, I love you so much. You are such a good boy. Please do this when I need you to do this. I'm going to give him a kiss on the head, and he's just going to be so happy and so proud. He's like, come on, let's go.
And he stays put.
And as he walks away looking proud, strapped, even more muscular than he did before, definitely more healthy. Conan stays for quite a while, and until he looks, and then he becomes a little deflated. Conan runs up, and they rejoice together, walking into, you guys are making your way on an especially dry patch of dunes. A stinging feeling starts to pepper the side of each of your legs. You've all discovered a species of cactus that, when triggered, launches its spines horizontally as projectiles. You're walking through this field getting bombarded and battered, but lucky for you, the cactus seems to only grow about 6 inches tall, and the spines are only about 1 inch long. But through your leather, you continually pick out at them. You walk until it seems you have finally pushed through the location where these cacti grow, realizing the wind is completely still around you. Looking over about a mile now of reddish sand. See an outcropping of woods, just as Raquiella described in front of you.
Is there a way? Can you show us where we are on the map by any chance?
I shall as soon as I open the thing that would allow me to do that. Any DM who might be future DMing, always have your shit ready. That is the point that I'll give you.
Thank you.
Oh my god, all of you guys are logged in? I don't think that's ever happened.
I always go to Roll20, man. I'm always on Roll20.
Yeah, Roll20 and D&D Beyond and Facebook. That's all 3 things I have.
Anybody should be a leader, it's definitely Super.
Don't know about that one.
I don't think A, Super is capable, and B, I know Super is not willing to be the lead.
Okay, so you guys have gone here.
I see it between Alabasta and Shorshak. Yeah. Off the trail.
Off the trail.
Yeah.
Would I have known about these red sands? I don't think I would have been close to the beach hardly at all, so I don't think I would. But I was just curious if maybe No, I don't think I would actually. Never mind. No.
Yeah, I mean, you stumbled across red sand only in this bottom kind of peninsula. It doesn't exist anywhere else on the island that you know of.
Yeah, I was about to say.
There's streaks of it all inland, not on the beach itself. The beach itself is a very white sand, a very white, light sand. This is a more fine sand, but desert-like in quality. You know, because the western portion of this island is very desert. And the sand is very similar to that, though a different shade of color.
Okay. Yeah.
Can I take a sample of the cacti that we discovered?
Definitely. Roll a dex check or set a hand check if you would. If you fail, you just take 2 points of damage.
Can I choose whatever is best?
What do you mean?
Oh, I guess they're the same. You're right. Yeah.
Sleight of hand?
11 total.
All right, 14 was the DC. Take 2 points of damage, but you successfully harvested it.
All right. I'm like, yeah, these little guys.
Now, what you find is approaching this cactus, you're like really careful. You don't know what triggers it. You're just not aware. And you step on something, it seems, and it launches all of its spines. Only one spine comes out of the other side that's still intact when you get over to it. And as you're cutting the roots out, you cut a root on that side of it, and you realize the root's the trigger, and it shoots off.
That's cool.
Xander, right as it's coming at you, you and your quick dexterity move out of the way, and it flies right past your eye.
Hey, might want to be a little bit more careful with that. I don't want to damage my beauty.
You notice that the roots are really shallow and extend on the surface in a very far distance. All right. Any conversation would like to happen or continue?
No. What did she say about this forest we would come upon?
She said nothing except for.
Have we come to the red sand yet?
We're at the red sand now.
You're at the red sand. You see the forest. The red sand is very bare. It's desert in appearance, which seems, especially to you, noticing how close a forest is, very out of place, being a desert in this location, being that close to the sea, and then surrounded by forest almost in a way. You can't come up with a natural reason why this would exist here at all.
And then you said that Super was seeing the cactus grow on a structure or something up ahead. Is that what you said? Or
no, it's just how the cactus grows in the field.
Okay, all right.
Very
interesting. So, what did you say that we were looking for? By the way, I can't entirely recall.
It was coral sand.
Yes.
And then we would come across an old hall where we would have to gain entrance into the old hall with using the sand.
And someone's love.
All right, I'm changing the location on the map, and I apologize for this, guys. I put you a little green dot. There was already a place.
Ooh, motherfucker!
Wow, teleportation magic.
There was already something there on the map, as the author of the map would have already noted. You guys make your way across the sand, the heat beating down on you in this just still air. You come and hear the trickling of water. The red sand actually exists underneath the forest itself. Outcroppings of dirt also exist that tatter this with things that you know must nourish the trees, but the red sand is really spread across the surface mostly. You come to a large rock outcropping, a mountain, if you will, jetting up. It seems like volcanic rock, but a spring exists kind of pouring down through around this rock. And taking a few hours, you're looking for something very specific, and that's where the stream of the spring falls into a hole. and the hole swallows it up. This, in direction of Racriella, is where you pour the coral sand. How long it takes you? Let's say you spent, in order to get to this location, you spent about 2 or 3 days in order to get here. As strange as it might be, it was an uneventful 2 or 3 days. But once you're here, you eventually find where that is. Would you like to pour the sand straight in? Is there any preparation in this moment of tension that...
Well, we need to talk about who has love. I do not.
I have a lot of love.
I love stuff.
Okay.
I mean, like things, like not like all stuff. Like it depends on what kind of stuff we're talking about. Point is, I'm not out of love, but I wouldn't say I'm like a loveful person.
Okay.
I love Conan.
Right.
She seemed to make a point of pointing out Xander's love.
That's what I was thinking too. She pointed out Xander, definitely.
I mean, she definitely called you out, and I'm glad, Braggle, that you could point that out, because there's a bit of the I don't know what the equivalent of an elephant is in this world, but it was in the room.
What's an elephant?
Ceratops. You can use the ceratops, which is the giant creatures that have been rummaging highways.
It was the ceratops in the room. I had to say.
All right, so I'm supposed to be full of love and pour the sand down the hole?
Think of the person you love and pour it down the hole. Because if you don't think of someone you love and this fails, we have to go back 2 days and grab more sand.
Well. All right. Well, come here, Conan. And I'll just have him right beside me, and I'll scrunch his ears and pat his head and give him little nuzzles as I pour the sand in and be like, I love you so much. You're such a good boy. I'm so glad you learned how to stay. You're so good.
He nuzzles you.
You are a good
feel
boy.
love and warmth.
You are a good boy.
You actually remember all of the encounters, the close calls, the times that you've shared warmth together, and that's the only reason you woke up in the morning. You have, though spent a lot of time in an aristocratic setting, you are not shy at all about getting kicked out of an aristocratic setting and living on the land, jumping from station to station, if you will, where this exists. Adventure is not something that is rare to you, especially you, Xander. And reminiscing on all these moments where, because of him, is the only reason you're alive. And you know very well that that's also returned.
You're a good boy.
Do we see any changes with the door?
Oh, you poured it down?
Yeah, he was pouring it down while he was snuggling that.
All right, what is the rest of you doing while this is happening? Where is Namina?
I would assume
think this through thoroughly.
One of us would be carrying him.
He would still be in the wheelbarrow, right? Or is that where we had him?
Yeah, I brought the wheelbarrow along. He's in the wheelbarrow.
Okay. And I would probably be stepping back and just kind of letting you guys do your thing. Kind of like watching.
Sparkmaster kneels down with his holy symbol of Bahamut in his hand and closes his eyes and waits.
Shows knelt in respect too, with his fingers crossed.
I'd love to just let you roll a luck check. Yeah. As you pour it down, suddenly the earth starts to shake. Those of you, some look up at the volcano or mountain center that had previously launched a dwarf, but you don't see anything. Conan starts to bark and points out on the rock face itself, a giant slab of rock, unfinished, is sinking into the ground slowly. Sand under your feet is vibrating at such a high frequency that it's actually jumping off the ground by 4 or 5 inches, creating a fog, if you will.
Are you ready, boy? Let's go. Is it far away?
No, you're about 10 feet from it.
All right, and we're going to walk up to the entrance of it and see if we can see it slope down, or does it drop off?
It's a slight slope down, and anybody with dark vision can see it's a slight slope down for about 40 feet and then levels off.
All right. Everybody come here. Let's all go in together in case this thing closes. Or do we want to leave one person out here in case it does close and traps us inside?
Well, if it closes, how's the person on the outside going to get us out?
They're going to go get some more daggone sand. And then they're going to realize they love us a lot.
Like, I am so looking forward to finding out who loves us a lot and super inside the thing.
And then I walk behind him saying, I second that. And I cast Produce Flame on my fingers because I can't see.
All right. Are you leaving anyone outside?
I guess that's up to them.
Well, Conan and I can open the door. We know that. So what do you think, buddy? You think we need to stay out here?
I mean, you guys do have the hut to protect yourself if need be.
I don't have any more sand, though.
Go get some.
If it closes, go get some.
I feel like it's going to close whether or not we make our decisions.
Well,
I'm going in. Show.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already in. I'm already in.
All right, Show, as you and Braggle walk in, you uncover a hall, vast in size in all dimensions, that open up. Show, out of curiosity, you kind of rub your hand against a pillar that exists there, and the dust coats your hand, but reveals an old but brilliant white marble that exists with an exquisite pattern of fractals kind of wrapped around it. Braggle, you kind of do the same on the wall and discover a very similar beauty that is both natural and refined, whatever that might mean to you. And the dust in your hand. You begin to sneeze as the dust kind of pushes away and creates a small fog here. It's unlit. Flowing water can be heard ambiently.
Does it look like the door is trying to close or anything?
Not at the moment.
Are they gone past my view?
One of them has a flame in his hand, and so you can see the glow of him in the silhouette.
I'll just yell down in. If you want me to come, I will. If the door starts to close, I'll back out. But if it looks like you're there and you're okay, we'll come in after you. Or if you want to see if you can find some way to reopen this if it does close.
Water's flowing through here somehow, Xander. There might be another way.
I'd like to start scanning the perimeter of the room. Like I'd start to put my hand on the wall and start not necessarily feeling, but like, guiding myself along the walls of the of this place. Is it more?
You go ahead and ask the question.
I was going to ask if it was more rectangular or oval.
The pillars in the room go an insane distance upward, almost to the point where it doesn't make sense from the geology of what you meant. The walls are completely flat and in rigid stone structure, staggered each layer above each other, in these massive, very thick, and you can tell by pounding, pieces of marble here. It seems like there's nothing else in the room whatsoever. It seems also very old. So if this place was looted, there was nothing left.
Is there any where I would like to find that water source and try to find where that water is coming from?
It's coming from ahead, probably 400, 500 feet.
Jeez. That's insane.
All right, Xander, you coming? You staying?
All right, let's go.
All right.
We're gonna walk down inside tentatively, slowly on the incline.
Okay.
And walk towards him.
As you walk down, you eventually get into a portion where Sho Chitatu, you can see the end of this hall. And a number of other things kind of in the faint distance where it's not entirely clear. It's not the dark that's blocking you, it's just the distance itself and maybe the dust in the air. You come up to it, come up to the end, the terminal of this. And you see a large wooden gate. But before you get there, there's a large scale and writings in runes all around the wall itself. One show you realize is infernal.
I'd like to. Oh, yeah, right. I can't actually read it.
You can't actually read that. Sparkmaster, do you know Draconic?
I do.
Did you come up with this also in Draconic written out?
What does it say?
It says life and death in equilibrium. We find our way forward. To achieve a balance in life, the price must be paid. Love bring back what one has lost.
I'm assuming Sparkmaster, you read this aloud. Is that right?
I can read part of this wall. It's in Draconic. It says, "Life and death in equilibrium. To find a way forward, to achieve a balance in life, price must be paid."
Sad but true, I must say.
In the center of the hall there's a large merchant scale made of marble hanging mid-air. Now that you look at it, Show. Examining it, the scales pans are large enough for a human adult to sit in. On the far side of the room, next to the wooden gates, in one side there's a hooded specter wielding a scythe. And on the other side, an angel bearing nothing but a shield. and a halo.
Hmm.
So what is this scale meant to convey? Do we need to sacrifice something to bring them in back?
That's the sense I get.
So we have to kill something to bring something.
I think the altar kills and it brings back.
Try it, Braggle.
Roll a persuasion check. No.
It might work. His charisma's not great. You know, I would like to inspect the wooden gate, not go into it, but inspect, around it, see if I could see any sort of bones or anything like that around where the Grim Reaper is.
Yeah. So looking at the wooden gate itself, it almost seems harder than wood. No natural wood that you can tell can hold this rigid. You're like trying to apply it, and you are strong. You can squeeze wood, and it will flex. This does not at all. Going over to the Reaper that is sitting there. Looking at kind of the base portion of that, there's inscribed Druidic written around this in a dialect that you somewhat recognize around different very ancient pieces of architecture you found in this island that have been grown
So
over.
you said it's an angel on one side?
Yes.
Is there any writing, or is it just the druidic looking writing?
Druidic looking writing on the
Is it
Reaper.
celestial?
There is some celestial potentially.
That is what I read.
Getting saucy.
My goodness.
Would I also be able to assist since it's like druidic?
I was going to actually ask to see if Super could read it.
Yeah. You guys could both come together.
Cool. Yeah, how do you want to roll that?
I'm just trying to think because there's a little bit of story behind this. I'm trying to think how clear it would be.
I understand.
Well, let's just say you get it. I mean, you have two druids. You're looking at this. You found it. It makes sense.
Is it an African or a European swallow?
In that writing, it says, "I am the angel that will bring you back from the other side."
That's what the Grim Reaper has on it?
Yes.
What's it say again? I'm sorry.
Huh.
I am the angel that will bring you back from the other side.
That's on the Grim Reaper side.
Correct.
Yeah, interesting.
And then I'd like to look at the scale you said it was.
Yes.
That could fit a human, average human size. Would it be able to fit two or just one?
About one average size human. I mean, you could get a larger human or two gnomes sitting in there. You get two people stacked on top of each other. But you know how a scale works, or at least.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. It's like, okay.
Don't assume I know how anything works, Mike. We're talking about this. No.
Fair enough. Xander, you guys continue with what you're doing.
What does the angel side say?
There's some side conversations going. I just gotta say, metagaming. I'm metagaming. No, I am. But what does it say, Mike?
You might be typing it out now.
Or perhaps we don't know.
If it's in Celestial, then Xander will be able to read it.
That's my one language I can read.
No, sophisticated. So cool.
I picked one thing that I could do.
And I can make my dog stay.
Fancy. That's my other character's voice. Very fancy. Y'all haven't met Buffy.
Buffy.
One day.
Now, so the entire place where you are staying is of vast construction, very purposefully built. The languages that you see around you have probably 14 other languages written in inscriptions around the walls. On these two statues, though, you only have these two languages.
Could I? Quick question: when you say these 14 languages, is it like language 1, 2, 3, 4, or is it like it's all like mashed together, if you would?
It's almost like somebody wrote. They're similar in length. Let's just put it that way. They're not mashed together, but scattered all over the place in the pattern. In the pattern of a star.
Ooh. That's cool. Xander just rolled that he realizes he's still alive. Within 4
All right.
Well, I live.
So Xander's going to read what's on the angel statue.
Oh, then he does it really well.
And he's going to stare at it for a long time, and he's going to look at it. It's not going to say a whole lot. He's going to say, put Namina on that scale over there.
Okay. Then I start to do just that.
All right. Everybody step back. If this goes wrong, take care of Conan. Xander's going to jump on the scale.
And as you go over and jump on, you hit the scale, and the scale gets a little torqued with your, and then begins to start to balance. The rest of you kind of in shock of what happens. You look up. Namita and Xander have disappeared in a blinding light of blue and are no longer on the scale.
Namina and Xander?
And that's where we'll end tonight's episode.
What the fuck?
Whoa!
I will fight.
Are you sure you don't want to just take a break?
Super. Whoa! And then blasts his wand. I'm trying
That's
to get
it? That's where we're stopping?
We can continue, but this is at least where we're going to pause.
Well, I mean, it's up
I'd like
to
to
you.
talk to you all, figure out if we have time and things like this.
We're at 10 o'clock. I've got overtime tomorrow, so
Gotcha.
Might be a reasonable stopping point where we can ponder
The
what
end
we're
of
gonna do
George
next.
Jack's Adventures. Whoa.